Looking for the latest on the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, and Aggies? Yeah, we've got you covered. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the Sports Zone.
Who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who.
Big day here in Utah. This is a where were you when kind of moment today here in the state of Utah, as NHL is official and you will get your first introduction into your NHL team today at the Delta Center. Festivities begin at 4 o'clock. We'll begin our live coverage at 3 o'clock. JJ and Alex will be live from the plaza. We'll have the press conference. We'll take that live at 4 o'clock as well. And you'll be able to hear from the general manager, the head coach, some players. The big celebration begins at the Delta Center at 5:30 with Ryan and Ashley Smith and the whole crew, man. It's going to be a blast. All kinds of fun activities going on down there, beginning at 4 o'clock at the Delta Center. Free hot dogs, J-Dogs for everybody. Show up, grab yourself a dog, and enjoy, again, a moment that we'll remember for a long, long time. The only thing that's going to be bigger than what happens today is when the puck hits the ice for the first time in September, October.
That's going to be a big event. And then watching the unfolding of everything that's about to take place. You know, the plans that have been put on the table, if they get approved for downtown development and the rebuild and expansion of Delta Center, and then watching that project start, and then how they manage that project in the middle of housing an NBA and an NHL team, and all the storylines that'll follow from that, that's going to be a big next step. Because if it's not approved, then we're talking about, well, where is it?
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of guesses, whether it's off 106th somewhere or 114th somewhere. Or
Look, here's the thing. People understand and need to know that if, for whatever reason, there's a snafu downtown, that's a very real possibility. But I also want people to know that there are so many people that have a lot of pull in this state that want this thing downtown that it's going to be downtown.
It's going to go through, right?
But it's going to happen. But and again, I'm not calling out any individuals. I'm not saying anybody's prone to it. I just know the world we live in politics. If a member of the city council tries to get all uppity and trying to be all like, not on my constituents, blah, 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 and they try to throw a fit about it, it very well could. There was I want to be careful how I say this. There was a line that Ryan Smith dropped in that press conference with Gary Bettman, and Gary Bettman said, I just don't want any arena drama. I don't want arena drama. I've had that in Phoenix. We're not going to put up with that. And you know what Ryan Smith was? I guarantee you will not have arena drama. We have our plan A, but we also have plan B and plan C. Right. So just know.
However it works out.
We're going to have an arena. It'll either be in downtown, which is the number one priority. And I thought, by the way, Ryan Smith I thought was awesome in saying that I had no intention of doing this downtown. I was going to put it in Bluffdale or, Draper or wherever. He goes, I was not going to put it downtown, but city officials, state officials came to me and said, we got to find a way to keep it downtown. So we're going to find a way to keep it downtown. But know that there were plans in place to put it south of the valley.
Yeah.
So those plans could become a reality if there are issues downtown. The only reason there would be issues is because somebody makes an issue. The logistics have been worked out. The plans have been worked out. Everything else has been worked out. They can renovate the Delta Center and put that downtown. But if somebody throws a fit and holds up some issues, then, yeah, they can move it.
And remember, where NHL goes, NBA goes. Yes.
That's the other thing, too, that was dropped in that press conference.
So just understand that it's not one or the other.
It's going to be both.
And I don't think that there will be a lot of drama. That it's not going to be like, if the plans are not approved, I don't think, and I could be wrong on this, I don't think it's like, you know what, let's resubmit, let's replan, and let's hope this time it happens.
Yeah. No.
And then you extend the process. They got to get going on this.
Yes.
They got to get designs and plans. They are housing the NHL in September of 2024. They don't have time to sit there and so we need rezoning and reapproval. So we need to resubmit for the fixed taxation. So now what exactly? Okay, so that your church officials are saying that there's red tape now, and it's like, you know what? Let's go where we don't have drama.
Yeah.
Because that's what he promised to the NHL.
Yep.
So,
flat out said there will not be drama. Meaning, if there's a hint of drama, I'm going to find a place that does not have drama.
Yeah. This is fascinating. I'm excited for the team to be here, but the housing and the building and the development and the rebuild, and we were in the arena when they just had the modifications.
Oh yeah.
When they just had the upgrades, and what a massive undertaking and overhaul that was.
That was a $125 million project that they essentially did in 125 days. Jim Olsen used to joke all the time, I spent $1 million a day on that renovation. What they did, what they're going to do, what they did then is going to be a drop in the bucket compared to what they're going to do now.
Yeah, because they'll have to change streets. They're going to have to move other buildings. They're going to have, there's a lot that will go into it. To be able to recognize the vision that Ryan Smith has of downtown. And it doesn't just stop with Delta Center. It extends to the downtown area. There is a renovation of downtown that is the vision to bring all the interest and excitement to downtown.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think that vision, it includes better access, better parking, and better availability for people, because I know a lot of people that have reached out to me in regards to this whole thing is like, I hope he moves it out of downtown, because then we'll have some parking, and then we could actually have some manageable infrastructure to get us in and out of those games. And then it makes it more appealing to the fan base that is taking their family. They don't want to sit there in parking for an hour and a half. They don't want to pay $85 to be able to park within a half mile. I think that this new build and the new vision, I think it's going to improve all aspects of the accessibility, the parking, the off and on ability to get in and out, and all those things. Because I hear those complaints and I understand them.
Oh, yeah. I get it, too.
But I also think Ryan Smith's addressing it.
Yeah. And I think it not just Ryan Smith, but I think, the church owns that Park Place that's just right across the street.
Yeah.
I think that could be a big possibility of future, entertainment district and restaurants and hotels and everything else. Like, I think, Hans, you and I, 5 years from now, could be looking at especially 10 years from now when the Olympics are here. Where we're at now is going to look just different. Ridiculously different than what it is now.
And where Scotty and I are right now, we're at the Triad Center. And the Triad Center is just across the tracks from Delta Center. So we are right next to it. And I can't help but think that the Triad at some level is going to be affected.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
By this remake and rebuild, because we are directly across the street from the Church Park Place. We are right across the tracks from Delta Center, and we are right smack dab in the middle of what Ryan Smith wants to rebuild and improve.
Like, those renderings weren't just pie in the sky stuff that he sent out. That's a real vision.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that you don't snap your fingers and everybody's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, but everybody's got to get on board and make this thing happen.
Hans and Scotty, Nate, Jake hanging out with us once again from Advanced Windows. You need to get those windows replaced. They're offering you $3,000 off when you swap out 10 windows or more. And Jake, there's also a bunch of rebates that are involved in this as well. I mean, look, there's a lot of ways you can save money here.
Yeah, I know. We talked we talked about the energy savings, but also we've got rebates that are available for you with our high performance windows. They will give you $5.50 back per square foot from Rocky Mountain Power and Dominion Energy. And then they're also Energy Star certified. And this back in October, there were some big changes to the industry around Energy Star. And the windows that qualify, historically, it was about 85% of windows qualified for Energy Star. And they made a huge shift, wanting to make it so about 15% of windows qualified for Energy Star. And it's really stringent. And most of the time, it needs to be like a triple pane, really heavy, thick window. And our high performance window is Energy Star
qualifies
certified.
For that.
And that's something that's we've been working on for the past year. And so we're really excited about that. So you're going to get rebates. There are tax credits that are available to you. That's obviously something we don't deal with the tax side. That's every individual has their own. They need to deal with their tax accountant for that because it is very based on all of your elections and what you've got going on. But there's money available to you from your tax refund and then the rebates of $5.50 a foot.
What's the big trend right now in windows? Is it the grids? What is it? Is it a burgundy frame or a black frame where people are painting their houses white? What is the big trend right now?
Black was obviously hot for a long time, and that's slowly fading. The strong color for us has been bronze. A lot of customers like bronze.
Interesting.
It's bronze. So it's not as harsh like the black. It's not as harsh as the black. It's still a dark frame, but it's not as like dark as that black.
Yeah. And really the cool thing is just with the grid patterns, right? You don't really think of this, but let's say a customer wants a black window on the outside, white on the inside, and with grid patterns on there, the grids on the outside will be black, matching the frame, and on the inside will be white, right? So little subtle things like that really just kind of give it that good feel from the inside and out. It's, all things we're capable of doing.
Well, that's the customization. And I know that we don't send people to the website often, but if you want to get some ideas of these windows, just jump out to the website.
Yeah.
You guys have all kinds of samples out there.
Yeah, and then go to the website. We're coming to the showroom. And we'll be able to see. And if you want, you come into the showroom, you're going to be able to see windows being manufactured. Like if you could come in theory, you could come and watch your windows being manufactured. We have had customers come in and they want to make sure that their grid patterns are right.
Oh, is that right?
And so as it's going into production, they're checking everything to make sure that it's good to go before we end up installing the windows. So look, we are local. Everything is done here. We cut out the middleman. We manufacture the windows, and we are 100% accountable for everything that we do. And so that is really one of that unique selling proposition that we have. And we want to take care of the customers, the people of Salt Lake City. We're from here. We are in the community. All of our employees are from here. They're all in the community. We want to take care of our community.
It's advancedwindows.com, but better yet, just call. Rob is waiting, and you can call him right now to claim your $3,000 off. All you have to do is call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. Great financing, great rebates. They'll help you set up the entire process so you're saving as much money as possible, and you're getting the windows your home deserves to save you money on your electric bill, on your heating bill, and make your home just look better. 801-850-9100. Please call right now. You don't have to pay today. You don't have to lock it in today. You just need to set up an appointment for Rob to come out of your house and give you that audit and see where you're at. 801-850-9100. Let's get it done. AdvancedWindows.com.
Salt Lake is the newest home of the National Hockey League.
We want our NHL team. This is a hot spot in America.
And when the announcement was made,
This thing's going to be successful.
the Zone had it covered from every angle.
Two of the big four.
From the draft, free agency, and all the way until the puck hits the ice in the fall.
It can't come soon enough. Let's go.
Your home for the best coverage of the NHL in Utah.
Utah is now the home of NHL hockey.
Talk about it right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Every moment of every show is available in podcast form by searching Hans and Scotty on your favorite podcasting platform or online at KSLSports.com. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. 2:30 up and down the Wasatch Front. Big event coming up today, folks. We'll be live on the plaza. JJ and Alex will be there at 3 o'clock doing their show as the NHL is here, folks. The Coyote roster, soon to be the Utah, insert your own nickname that you're very passionate about and have strong opinions on Twitter about, will be here. They are here right now. A lot of great videos of them checking out the new digs. And we're ready to rock and roll, folks. They'll be introduced to the crowd coming up at 5:30. The festivities begin at 4 o'clock. There'll be a press conference at 4 o'clock that we will carry here on the zone. But go down. We want, look, these are going to be moments that you're going to remember for a long time. So go home, grab the kids, get back to the Delta Center, grab some free hot dogs, feed the kids, meet the hockey players, enjoy a moment that you're going to remember for a long time because it's a big moment for the state of Utah and the history of sports here in the state of Utah.
What's funny is I just get into like on the field or on the ice mode, and I've already kind of put all this stuff behind me. I like the naming and all that. I put it behind me. It's
yeah.
Okay, whatever. Compete. Freaking compete. Get in there and win games. And I've already seen, I went and followed this NHL trade rumors. If you don't follow it on X.
Yeah.
It's just at NHL trade rumors. And yesterday, this was the tweet they sent. NHL rumor alert. Could Clayton Keller be headed to Montreal this offseason? Right now, Clayton Keller is the best thing that the Coyotes have going for them. He is the best thing that is coming to the state of Utah. As far as on the ice production, he's the best thing that you got. He was one of the top 30 in points. And remember, points is goals and assists. He was a top 30 in points with 76. And his name has already been included in different rumors about leaving to go to Montreal. So I don't give a crap about names, and I don't give a crap about colors, and I'm excited. I'm going to go down and party in this, and I'm going to eat a bunch of free J-Dogs. But what I want, to make sure Clayton Keller isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the best thing that you got on the ice. What I want is make sure that Nick Schmaltz feels really good here in Salt Lake City. What I want is these guys to feel comfortable so that when they take the ice in September, you and I aren't talking about, that's the Jazz and...
Yeah, we got enough of that on the Jazz.
Yeah, the Jazz and Utah. Oh, both of them. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about a team that's coming together, that's playing playoff-type hockey, that we get to see what we're watching right now. Like, you watch I know we're both watching the Florida series.
Oh, yeah.
The Panthers and the Lightning, and we're learning a lot. I watched the Avalanche last night. My homework has been the Golden Knights and the Stars. That's who I've really focused on. And I want to see that type of hockey. Don't just put an NHL team here in Utah and ship Clayton Keller off and say, well, it's going to take 5 years. That'll hurt.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's not going to help right out of the gate. All right. A man who has been with us every step of the way on our short but very intense NHL journey, Frank Seravalli, kind enough to join us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hockey insider, president of hockey content for the Daily Face-Off. And he's here in studio, man. How are you?
What's up, Frank?
In the flesh.
Yes, sir, man.
Good to be with you guys.
Yeah, nice to have
you said it. You made it. It feels like I've known you guys forever.
I know,
It's
right?
been 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We joked about this a little bit. You are a very popular man when the news broke that, hey, you know what? The NHL's building schedules for both Arizona and Salt Lake City for teams coming in, and it could go either way. But let's be honest, we've all been in the sports media for a long time. What you actually say and report, usually you've known for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So when did Ryan Smith, when did Salt Lake City really hop up on your radar in terms of, wow, this isn't just pie in the sky stuff. This could actually really happen?
The day Ryan Smith put out the press release saying that he wanted a team. You don't do that. I told you guys before, you've got to kiss the ring.
Yeah.
You've got to play by the NHL's rules and Commissioner Gary Bettman, and he played it to a T. Absolutely perfect. The playbook was well executed. And the second I saw that at that exact juncture in time, I was like, they're well down the track already. And it wouldn't shock me if at that point in February, the commissioner had already gone to Ryan Smith and nailed down that end of the deal. The next part was just about just trying to get Arizona on board.
How long do you think Bettman was like, we're done. We're done in Phoenix. We're done in Arizona. We've got to move this. How long do you think it's been gnawing at him, sitting with that embarrassment, that eyesore that's been an arena dispute and issue for a given amount of time?
I actually don't think it's been that long. I think it's sometime this season that they formally, internally said to themselves, we got to do something about this. Because think about it. They permitted the team to move to Mullet Arena, a college facility on Arizona State's campus, to begin with. You don't let that happen if you're not interested in seeing it through to the other side in the desert. They were.
Yeah.
I think they lost faith in the owner. They lost faith in his ability to get an arena built. And they said, this isn't the best course of action for the other 31 teams that we have.
Gary Bettman said in the press conference last Friday, he said, look, there's no boilerplate copy of what we're doing right now, where, Phoenix, Morelos still have the opportunity, if they can get an arena built, to get a team right back.
Whole thing's odd, by the way, anyway.
I know, right?
Him saying, I still own the team. Like, no, but they're in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
You don't know. You own a logo.
Yeah, and a little bit of history, and that's it. And so Salt Lake...
Not great history, by the way.
No, exactly.
Nothing that you want to brag about.
Salt Lake gets a roster, but essentially an expansion, but they get the roster.
No, it's a relocation
it's a weird deal.
They just had to change the name to suit this really unique structure of a deal, which is, look, feel good over here. Hey, we're taking your team, but maybe we'll see you someday. It's not you, it's us. The old breakup where you try and make them feel good on the way out.
Yeah, I heard that a lot in college. I know where you're at.
The breakup.
Yeah, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah. The other thing that was said in that presser was, we're keeping the people because it's all we got. It sounds like that's literally all Ryan Smith got in this purchase was management, coach, and players. He's going to be purchasing.
Well, plus the right to run an NHL franchise. Right. That's really what you're buying. The people are great. The draft picks, awesome. Prospects, cool. You're buying the right to have a seat at the table in the highest level of professional hockey. Outside
of that, what is it like, or what can you envision it being like, getting yourself geared up from the ice to the nets to the sticks to everything else? I mean, is that a big process, or do you think that's a small undertaking?
That'll be the easiest part of this transition. My guess, and I don't know this for sure, my guess is someone from the Coyotes facility group either is moving here with the team or they're going to pay to help with the transition temporarily, get them up and running again, take care of all that stuff, build the locker room, have input on how this all gets put together, the machinations of building it. You'll have travel people pick out, the plane and hotels and all the stuff you need, and you'll have someone help you with your schedule. And the Jazz have ticket sales people and premium seating. That part is all turnkey. And the hockey stuff, the hockey ops side, it's mostly going to run itself. It's its own self-operating entity in any team anyway. It's almost like the hockey people are over here, and you've got the business ops and ticket sales over here. They're just doing it in a different state.
What is if you're Ryan Smith right now, and or you're the front office of the new Utah team, what is the thing that keeps you up at night the most? What are in this entire transition process, what do you think, if there's hiccups, what do you think those are, and what are the potential, not landmines, but issues that are going to arise over these next 5 or 6 months?
Fans can, and I'm not speaking for fans in Salt Lake City, I'm speaking in terms of the general world. Fans can understand arena issues, imperfect setup with hockey, with the way that this is going to be at Delta Center for a little while. They can understand some programming stuff, logo, colors, however long that takes to roll out. If I were Ryan Smith, what would be keeping me up at night is trying to make the transition from rebuilding team to winning team. And there's two parts to that. The first one is, yes, you want to hit the ground running and be competitive, but the second and perhaps more important is to have a sustainable chance to win. And you don't want to cut off the latter part for the immediate gratification in the first part. But if you look at teams, expansion, relocation, whatever it might be, in hockey specifically, the teams that don't work, the teams that don't generate fans, the teams that don't generate big business are the ones that don't win. It's as plain and simple as that. There's not anything more complex to it.
Well, speaking of winning, we've been an NBA market for a lot of years, and Scotty and I have been on air together for 10 years, but we've been in this market for about 20. And we've watched the evolution of the Utah Jazz and the NBA and the fan support. And one thing that's been really difficult is free agency in the NBA. The best free agent I think we've ever seen come in here to the state of Utah is probably Carlos Boozer. And that's been a lot of years ago. And one of the things that I projected, the reason I feel like the NHL can do better here than the NBA is because I feel like NHL players are less likely to say, nah, that's not where I want to be. Frank, in
your estimation, why do you think NBA players say no?
Well, I think it's just more of the nightlife that they're looking for. It's their upbringing. It's just their interests.
I mean, frankly, there was a joke, and we actually had T-shirts made that said nightlife on it because the Golden State Warriors was playing a playoff series here, and one of the I was Steph or Clay or I can't remember which one of the players goes, I don't want to go. Was it Draymond Green?
Yeah.
Goes, I don't want to go to Salt Lake. I want to spend as little time as possible. There's no nightlife. There's nothing to do there.
Yeah.
And so for an NBA player, the knock is, it's predominantly white. It's a religious-based community. All the broad brush statements you can make.
It's freezing cold in the winter.
No, that's going to bother hockey players.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's my point. All of those things together, whether they can't be as worried about the cold because, of course, I want to play in South Beach in the winter. Of course, I want to play in Phoenix in the winter. But if I'm a hockey player, you're coming from Canada, you're coming from Switzerland, you're coming from Russia, and I've got to imagine
this isn't even cold.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is a treat.
Yeah, your surroundings can't mean as much. That's why I feel like NHL free agency here in Utah, they should be able to have more success with it.
NHL players are going to want three things: a chance to win, a nice place to live with decent restaurants, and an owner who's going to take care of them. That's it.
That's it. And they'll come.
That's all. Look, I guarantee you, today, NHL players, even in the playoffs, are paying attention to what this reception is like tonight at Delta Center. They want to know, are there fans there? Do people care? There's been some markets that they've showed up in and hey, we're having a parade today to welcome our new NHL team, and 80 people show up.
Wow. So this is a big moment. Like this fans...
is the start of sending that message and setting the tone.
Oh.
Well, we're hoping. We've been, they haven't had a lot of time to put this together, and really, this has only been an announcement since Friday,
yeah.
Thursday,
Friday night
that we'd be having this Wednesday party. So it's not like the potential fans have had a lot of time to plan. They're rolling out free hot dogs and free desserts and free drinks. And
well, that was enough to get me here.
Yeah, let's go, man.
And if it's enough to get Frank here, I'm just hoping that we see. So what is the image of that? What would be the picture of that would say that was successful?
Rabid support. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be massive numbers. Look at what they're coming from. They were playing in a 4,500 seat arena. These guys want to feel like they're playing in the NHL again.
Did that sell out every night?
Yes.
The 4,500 seats were sold and packed. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Frank Seravalli, kind enough to join us. We'll take a quick break, wrap this show up next, and get everybody down to the Delta Center. JJ and Alex will be broadcasting live at 3 o'clock. Make sure to stop by. Hey, you just heard Frank say it, too. Like, these players are going to be judging their new home a lot on what you do as a fan, and if you're going to be there showing up and supporting this team. Remember, it's also streamed on KSLSports.com, but we'll wrap it up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Salt Lake is the newest home of the National Hockey League.
We want our NHL team. This is a hot spot in America.
And when the announcement was made,
This thing's going to be successful.
the Zone had it covered from every angle.
2 of the Big 4.
From the draft, free agency, and all the way until the puck hits the ice in the fall.
It can't come soon enough. Let's go.
Your home for the best coverage of the NHL in Utah.
Utah is now the home of NHL hockey.
Talk about it right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hans Olsen and Scotty G. That's right. Yeah! On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby.
All right, wrapping up another edition of the show. Frank Seravalli kind enough to hang out with us for one more segment. All right, Frank, just some rapid fire stuff here before we let you go. And again, can't thank you enough for walking across the street and coming up here and hanging out with us before the event in the Delta Center. What are off-season expectations for this roster? Hans just threw out maybe some trade rumors that might be out there. Now that you've got a GM that doesn't that has an owner that's saying, what resources do you need? Let's pump some money into this. What do you anticipate this offseason could look like for this club?
Probably pretty aggressive without sacrificing the future. I think that's the easiest way to frame it. Unless someone raises their hand and says they don't want to be here, which I don't have anywhere close to an indication that that would be the case, I think these guys are going to be blown away today.
Yeah.
That they're all going to want to be part of it. It's just like being part of an expansion team, except you come in and you know everyone. It's even better than that. So these guys are going to get the juice of, hey, what it was like to play in Seattle or Vegas the last couple years and how awesome that experience was. I heard you guys talking, the Clayton Kellers, the Lawson Krause, all those guys. I'd be shocked if they're not in the lineup for Utah Hockey Club or whatever they're calling it in the fall.
So I was just talking about one of the X accounts that I followed. It's NHL Rumors.
Okay.
Is that
probably? Yeah. Look, I'm not going to slag anyone, but probably you could find better sources than that. I'll say that.
Anything that you could kind of suggest for people to follow that has, really, because
I think the big one is Frank _Seravalli.
Yeah,
is the one you need to be following. Yeah.
Look, there's lots of other insiders. There's 5 or 6 of us. There's lots of reporters for each of the teams around the league that you can follow. The main rights holders, Sportsnet in Canada, here in the U.S., ESPN, TNT, follow the Spit and Chicklets guys and their podcast. Like
they're good.
Whatever your flavor is, there's something for you in the hockey world.
Really quick, just on a rules thing, can you just define offsides and icing? Those two things. Like what exactly is the offsides and what exactly is the icing?
So the easiest way to boil down offsides is the puck must enter the offensive zone before you do.
And that's the blue line just past the half point.
Correct.
Okay.
And in toward the direction where you're going.
So what if it exits that but enters back while there's somebody already there?
Well, that's called a tag up, and so you can actually hold the puck outside the blue line and wait till everyone clears and fire it back in.
So once it exits, people have to clear?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. And then the icing?
Icing is you have to get to the red line before you can fire it into the offensive end of the ice. So if you shoot the puck down the other end of the ice from your own end, then they'll blow the whistle, it's icing, and the face-off is in your zone. Not only is it in your zone, but the sort of the penalty of that is you can't change your players if you're tired, and you can't. The other team can pick which side of the ice they want to take the face-off on. So there's some confusing aspects of hockey in the sense that if you want to take it a step further with icing, you can't ice the puck when it's even strength, but once you take a penalty and you're shorthanded, you actually are permitted to ice the puck for those 2 minutes or however long the penalty lasts. There's nuances.
Oh, I know. And, Do they blow the whistle if a guy has a chance to go get it or is in pursuit of it? Like
there's a race, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, to the dot.
It's been funny. My 12-year-old is all in on hockey now. And so he's been sending me YouTube tutorial videos on rules. He's like, Dad, you can't sound like a moron. You gotta get up to speed. And he's sending me all these videos on stuff like it's just fascinating because, when you don't grow up with it, Hans and I are both, Southern Idaho guys. And so hockey wasn't even an option to play, let alone watch or really be involved in. And when you don't pick up a sport as a kid and you try to learn it as an adult, it's kind of an interesting, it's an interesting adjustment.
It's like trying to learn a language.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
It's a different kind of understanding of it than,
But it's been so much fun to watch. And I think hockey is going to resonate here in Salt Lake City because this is a blue collar town. And hockey players are, obviously well compensated, especially the great ones, but they have that blue collar mentality that I think is going to resonate with this fan base. And Frank, I think this thing's going to blow up. I think it is going to be a massive success here in Utah.
I'm with you. That's why I'm here. That plus they're easily relatable. Not only do many of them have blue collar roots, but a lot of these guys are from small town Western Canada. They're from small town somewhere that they've got three things there: a pub, a pizza place, and a rink, and that's it. And these guys find their way to the NHL, and they don't change. They don't all of a sudden get there and they're too big for everyone else. Yeah. They're the same guys, and that's part of the endearing quality of hockey.
Boy, have we seen that with a lot of NBA players.
A lot of that. I will tell you, I was watching the Florida series, as I mentioned yesterday, and it was the first time that I'd sat and listened to the studio crew. Is it PK Subban?
Yep.
He was good. Is that a liked voice in the world?
Yeah, he's
he was entertaining. I mean,
former Norris Trophy winning best defenseman in the league. Really talented guy that has now gotten his start in media in his mid-30s.
And who's the older guy that's next to him?
Messier.
Mark Messier.
Yeah.
Five-time Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah. A lot of people remember him. Was it 94 with the Rangers?
The guarantee.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That studio crew's pretty good, Scotty.
Yeah, no, I've been dialed in on it.
But if you want a different flavor, you can watch TNT, and they've got a whole different thing. They've jokes, and it's kind of like TNT with basketball.
Okay.
It's not serious. ESPN, maybe a little bit more serious. Whatever you want, whatever your flavor is, that's what you can get.
The head coach, he sent out some tweets earlier today about how fired up he is. Win-loss record hasn't been what he wants it to be. Just give us a valuation on the coaching staff and the quality that you feel like they bring to the table.
Okay, I'm going to overstate this, but Andre Tournier, for the last number of years, the requirement to be head coach of the Arizona Coyotes, you needed to come to work every day with body armor and a good life insurance policy because you are going to battle every day as coach of that team. Poor resources, guys that might not want to be there, low on the talent pool scale, a lot of things to pack into a really challenging job in the NHL. Just like Bill Armstrong, their general manager, I'm fascinated to see what Andre Tournier, what do these guys do when you're handed a different set of circumstances?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Frank, thank you so much for coming by, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Frank.
My pleasure, guys.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Nate Orchard, Jake hanging out with us here in studio. Advanced Windows, give him a holler right now. Let's get you squared away. Those brand new windows. Nate Orchard, NFL player. You're trying to figure out hockey too, right?
One day at a time. I learned something new just out in the hallway. I didn't know there was offsides. I mean, I got a lot to learn.
There's a lot to it. One of the most subjective things I've seen is the high sticking. Because I saw one high stick that got called, and I saw another one like 5 minutes later, and they were like, we didn't see that. It's like, geez, so there's some crazy stuff in it. But it's fun.
But it's
fun.
You
see how physical that is.
Oh, yeah.
Former football player, putting somebody in the wall wouldn't be a bad
yeah,
time.
If I could stay on my feet and put them in the wall.
Hey, Jake, let's talk about some of the deals going on right now. $3,000 off when you swap out 10 windows or more. It's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah, no-brainer. Right now, it's a great day. Beautiful weather outside. You can feel that temperature heating up and just know in the summer months, you're going to have that heat blasting through your windows. And if you're in that boat where you know there's a chance maybe you need windows, just give us a call. You're going to get $3,000 off if you call today. We're going to get Rob out to your house in the next day or two. He'll be there. He'll go walk through your home with you in a very no pressure, very comfortable setting, and he'll do an audit of your current windows. So he's going to go through each window and he'll tell you if maybe the windows are in perfect shape. Maybe you don't need 10. Maybe you don't need your whole house. Maybe it's just 3 or 4. But that 3 or 4 could make a big difference in your energy bills and in the look and the aesthetic of your home.
801-280-3110. That's
actually 801-850-9100.
I just gave out the wrong number.
That's your cell phone number. Thank you very much.
850-9100. Don't call that number because that goes directly to Scotty.
That number's available all night long.
But $3,000 off. How long does that last?
Anytime today. You can call Rob 7, 8 o'clock tonight. He's going to be available, and he'll be set up a time to come out to your home. So anytime tonight, but as soon as the day ends, that offer's going to be gone.
801-850-9100. Claim that $3,000 offer right now. That other number, I don't know what kind of response you're going to get. It may not, we'll find out. But call 801.
If you want Windows.
9100. Call right now. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Guys.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.